we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV.
Good evening, Nigerians. You're welcome to News Update on 24 News Radio TV at Doekiti. We'll start from the headlines. Archbishop Adewale Martins' mass abduction of school children in Nigeria and is troubling. Coming from the Punch newspaper, Shetima seeks stronger executive legislature synergy, says Tinubu will never take lawmakers for granted. Three die in Kano fuel tanker explosion. Coming from the Vanguard newspaper, Kebbi schoolgirls abduction, DHQ summons grilled soldiers in Abuja. Barrow warned Kano governor against prioritizing insecurity issues. 3 days of mourning begin after Hong Kong deathless fire in decades. Ogun CG holds judges to prioritize sexual violence cases. Alright, we'll give you the news in details while we're back from the short break.
From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu, across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV.
Alright, you're welcome back to the rest of the story. Archbishop Adewale Martins' mass abduction of school children in Nigeria is troubling. Insecurity in Nigeria has grown to severe that it now possesses a major national concern, threatening the very fabric of our existence. Hardly a day passes without reports of violence, destruction, or loss of lives. Over time, these incidents have taken on a troubling pattern, often leaving churches and Christian communities at the receiving end, raising both national and global alarms. While some describe the situation as persecution, others view it as genocide, underscoring its urgency and this exclusive interview. The Catholic Archbishop of Lagos, Alfred Adewale Martins, reflects on the escalating crisis. He warns that the massive abduction of school children is reflects on escalating crisis. He warned that the mass abduction of school age children is deeply troubling and reflects a broader failure to protect citizens. It stresses that Nigerian insecurity persists largely because of a lack of political will, urging leaders to take decisive action to safeguard lives and restore public confidence. Ferdinand Ewechukwu and Sunday Egedo bring the expert. All right, moving on to the Nation newspaper. Shatima seeks stronger executive legislature synergy, says Tinubu will never take lawmakers for granted. Vice President Kashim Shettima on Friday called for deeper collaboration and sustained alignment for purpose between the executive and legislative arms of government, describing such synergy as indispensable to build a Nigerian that works for all. Speaking at the dinner, hosted for members of the National Assembly by the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, at the State House, Abuja, the Vice President said the current administration enjoyed the best working relationship with the legislature since 1999, a development which he attributed to shared vision, mutual respect, and understanding of the responsibility binding both arms. In a statement issued on Saturday by Special Senior Assistant to the President on Media and Communication, Office of the Vice President Stalin Umosha, Shatima said, the true essence of democracy manifests not only in representing the legislature, but in appreciating the indispensable role each arm plays in architecture of governance. It shines most brightly where there is alignment for purpose, where the executive and legislature are united by unshakable resolve to build a nation that works for her, Shatima added. Emphasizing the depth of engagement between the two arms, the Vice President noted that the entire section of the presidency today is anchored by proud alumni of the National Assembly, including President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the First Lady, Chief of Staff Femi Jagabunyan, Deputy Chief of Staff Senator Ibrahim, Secretary to Government of the Federation Senator George Akume said himself. You are not taken for granted, you have never been taken for granted, and you will never be taken for granted, Shetima assured, noting that the First Lady remained deeply committed to protecting the interest and preserving the dignity of lawmakers. He credited the National Assembly for support given to the administration's bold economic reforms, saying lawmakers had placed the nation above personal interest and resisted the temptation of populist shortcuts, while backing difficult policies, choices required to reposition the economy. The early signs of macroeconomic recovery are already trickling down, gradually, steadily. This has rekindled the confidence that Nigeria is on course on becoming a prime destination for investors, Shatima added. Alright, this is coming from the Nation newspaper. Shatima seeks stronger executive legislation synergy, says Tinubu will never take lawmakers for granted. For clarification of the news, you can grab the Nation newspaper. Three die in Kano fuel tanker explosion. Coming from the Punch newspaper. Three persons died while one other escaped with injuries in two separate fire incidents recorded in Kano State on Friday, according to the Kano State Fire Service. The emergency confirmed the incident in a statement released on Saturday and signed by its public relations officer, Samuel Yusuf Abdullahi. The first incident occurred on Friday around 1:30 p.m. when a petrol tanker carrying 30,000 liters of fuel and exploded at Kura Market Junction along Zaria Road. The tanker with registration number NGZ 250XA reportedly knocked down a cyclist before it went up in flames. The statement said the emergency response unit received a distress call from a retired civil service officer, Damani Muhammad, prompting immediate deployment of firefighters from the service headquarters. On arrival, our men found the tanker fully engulfed in flames. Four people were affected. Three were rescued unconscious and later confirmed dead, while the cyclist survived, the statement added. Firefighters supported by police and FRSC personnel contained the blaze and handed over the bodies to ASP Ahmad Lawan of Current Police Division. Two fire trucks, one from the headquarters and another from the courier station, were deployed. Image from the Kano fuel tanker explosion, the cause of the crash, is still under investigation. The second incident occurred on the same day at about 2:45 p.m. when a fire broke out at Amisu Plaza on Maduguri Road in Taruni local government area. The upper floor of the two-story building commercial building was already in flames when firefighters arrived. Alright, this is coming from the Punch newspaper. Three die in Kano fuel tanker explosion. For clarification of the news, you can grab a copy of the Punch newspaper. Heavy schoolgirls abduction. DHQ summoned grilled soldiers in Abuja. All military personnel attached to Government Girls Comprehensive School Secondary School (MAGA) in Danko, Wasagu local government area of Kebbi State, while 26 schoolgirls were abducted, are currently facing interrogation at the Defense Headquarters Abuja. A credible senior government official told one of the correspondents that the DHQ has begun investigating the sudden withdrawal of military personnel from the school shortly before the abduction. Terrorists stormed the school on November 17, killing the vice principal, Malam Azan Makuku, before whisking away the 26 students. However, two of the students were later escaped from the captors, leaving 26 still in captivity. The abduction sparked outrage, prompting the state's governor, Nasir Idris, to call for a probe into the sudden withdrawal of the military personnel from the school. Speaking after a closed-door meeting with the Minister of the State for Defense, Bello Matawale, the governor revealed that the state government had earlier received intelligence reports suggesting that the schools was likely to be targeted by the terrorists. A said security operatives were deployed in response to the intelligence, questioning why they were withdrawn shortly before the attack. We need to know why they left. We had intelligence, we provided security. So what happened? The governor asked during the meeting. The district head of MAGA, Muhammad Dantani, also stated that the military personnel withdrew from the school premises around 1 a.m. He said, around midnight, I called to confirm whether the soldiers were still at their post and was told they were, but unknown to us, they left the school around 1 a.m., just shortly before the attack began. We still don't know who gave the order or why they withdrew. When the bandits arrived, the police officer said they took cover because the attackers were far too numerous and opening fire would have meant certain death. The numbers of bandits and the level of firepower were overwhelming. Alright, this is coming from the Punch newspaper. Kabi school girls abduction. DHQ summons girl soldiers in Abuja. For clarification of the news, you can grab a copy of the Punch newspaper. Barrow warned Kano governors against politicizing insecurity issues coming from the Nation newspaper. The Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barrow Jibrin, has cautioned Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State to stop politicizing security matters and instead concentrate on tackling the multiple challenge confronting the state. His response followed a claim by the state government that his recent comments could undermine ongoing security operation. The allegation was made at the end of the 34th State Executive Council meeting chaired by the governor. Senator Barrell, however, insisted the Nigerian security crisis, including the activities of bandits in parts of Kano, requires collective efforts and cooperation from all stakeholders. In a statement issued by his media aide, Ismaili Mudasha, the deputy Senate president dismissed the government's accusation and dared officials to present any video evidence showing the maid, remarks capable of worsening insecurity in the state. The attention of the media office of the Deputy President of the Senate, Senator Barrell Jibrin, has been withdrawn to false, reckless, and malicious claims by the Kano State government through State Commissioner of Information Ibrahim Abdullahi that His Excellency, the Deputy President of the state, made a statement capable of undermining security efforts in the state. It is unfortunate that the state government has relegated governance to this low by concocting and fabricating lies to tarnish the growing reputation of the Deputy President of the state. There was no time when Senator Barrow uttered any statement capable of undermining security efforts. Instead, he had been the first for collaborating with all stakeholders to address insecurity challenges in parts of Kano and other areas in the country. He challenged them to produce the clip in which Deputy President of the Senate made any statement that could undermine security effort. He said, "Alright, this is coming from the Nation newspaper. Barrow warns Kano governor against politicizing insecurity issues. For full details of the news, you can grab a copy of the Nation newspaper." Moving on to foreign news, 3 days of mourning begin after Hong Kong deadliest fire in decades. Hong Kong officials have held a moment of silence at the start of a 3 day mourning period to remember those killed after the city's deadliest fire in nearly 80 years. At least 128 people are now known to have died in the fire, which engulfed 7 tower blocks on Wednesday. A further 83 were injured and 150 remain unaccounted for. 8 people have been arrested on suspicion of corruption over the renovation works of the block has been undergoing. 3 others were detained earlier on manslaughter charges. The cause of the fire has yet to be determined, but officials have said it spread up and between the blocks and rapidly because of the flammable materials placed on their exterior. This was preventable, anger and unanswered question after Hong Kong Fire Saturday morning ceremony was held outside government headquarters and saw city leader John Lee joined by other Hong Kong officials to observe 3 minutes of silence. The flag of China and Hong Kong were flown at half-mast. The government has also set up memorial points across the city, where the public can pay their respects and sign condolence books. One of the fire stated it spread quickly to 7 of the 8 towers in Wangfeng Court in Hong Kong Northerly Suburban Thai Post District. It then took more than 2,000 firefighters almost 2 days to bring the blaze under control. The cause of the fire remains unclear, though authorities have said that the polystyrene placed on the outside of the windows and plastic netting around scaffolding of the building facilitated the spread. The tower blocks were also covered in bamboo scaffolding, when is commonly used for construction and renovation work in Hong Kong. The fire sparked a debate on whether should be still used. Officials have confirmed that an investigation will be taken over place the next few weeks, with police already gathering evidence from the scene. The fire has caused anger through Hong Kong, which is known for the high-rise building, as questions above who should be held accountable. Residents of Wangfu Court have reported broken fire alarms and negligence from the company carrying out the renovation on the Wangfu Court, while Hong Kong Fire Service has said the fire alarms in all 8 blocks were not working effectively. The Independent Commission Against Corruption said those arrested in the corruption probe on Friday included director at an engineering company and scaffolding subcontractors. Hong Kong Labour and Welfare Secretary Chris Son told reporters that his department had made 16 checks at work at Wafan Court since July last year. The housing estate was built in 1983 and had provided 1,984 apartments for some 4,600 residents, according to a 2021 government census. Alright, we'll go for a short break now, and while we're back, we'll give you the news in detail.
From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin, all across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV. From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin, all across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV. From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin, all across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV. From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin, all across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV. From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin, all across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV. From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin, all across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV. From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin, all across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV.
Alright, so welcome back to the rest of the news. Still on news updates on 24 News TV radio. Tinubu nominates ex-INEC chair Fani Kayode Omokri, 29 holders as ambassador. Coming from the Punch newspaper, President Bola Tinubu has sent the names of 32 ambassadorial nominees to the Senate for confirmation, days after he sent the first batch of the three names. Among them are former chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Mahmoud Yakubu, and the aide to former President Goodluck Jonathan, Renu Omokri, and former Enugu State Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, among others. In two separate letters to the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, President Tinubu asked the Senate to consider and confirm expeditiously 15 nominees as career ambassadors and 17 nominees as non-career ambassadors. Read a statement on Saturday by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga. In a statement titled, Tinubu nominates 32 additional ambassadors. Onanuga noted, there are 4 women on the career ambassador list and 6 women on the non-career ambassador list. Among the non-career ambassadors designated are Ogbonya Kalu from Abia, a former presidential aide, Reno Omokri, former chairman of the International Electoral Commission, Mahmoud Yakubu, former Ekiti First Lady Erelu Adebayo, and former Enugu Governor Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi. Also on the list are former First Lady of Oyo Fatima Florence Ajimobi, former Lagos Commissioner Lola Hakonde, former Adamawa Senator Grace Bent, former Governor of Abia Victor Okeze Ikpeazu, Senator Jimo Ibrahim, businessman lawyer and senator from Ondo State, and the former ambassador of Nigeria to the Holy See, Ambassador Paul Oga Adiko from Benue State. The new nominees are expected to be posted to the countries with which Nigeria maintains excellent and strategic bilateral relations, such as China, India, South Korea, Canada, Mexico, the United Arab Emirates, Qatar, South Africa, Kenya, and to the permanent mission, such as the United Nations and the African Union. All nominees will know their diplomatic assignments after the confirmation by the Senate, it read. Last week, President Tinubu sent 3 ambassadorial nominees for screening and confirmation. All 3 are in the port for posting to the UK, USA, or France after the confirmation. More nominees for ambassadorial position will be announced soon on Naniga relief. Alright, this is coming from the Punch newspaper. Tinubu nominates ex-INEC chair Fani Kayode Omokri, 29 others as ambassador. For full details of the news, you can check a copy of the Punch newspaper. Ogun CJ urged judges to prioritize sexual violence cases. The Chief Judge of Ogun State, Justice Musumola Dikpeolu, on Saturday urged the judiciary to eliminate all forms of delay and prioritize accelerated hearing of cases on sexual violence. Justice Dikpeolu also called on lawyers to provide pro bono legal service to victims of sexual violence as a way of helping them access justice and necessary legal support during this trying time. The Chief Judge, represented by Justice Adedokun Jibodu, made the call while delivering the keynote address titled Strengthening Legal Pathway for Survivors of Sexual Violence. At a day-long women empowerment program tagged Justice for Survivors of Sexual Violence, organized by Headforth Foundation. She stated that the theme of the sensitization program reinforces a call to action that strikes at the very heart of the judicial mandate to provide redress, protect the vulnerable, and affirm the rule of law. Justice Dikpelu said, "The sexual violence is a crime that not only inflicts physical harm, but seeks to inherit the spirit," describing it as declared by Justice Shima Nweze as a fundamental assault on human dignity. She disclosed that though the Violence Against Person Population Law of Ogun State provide a strong legal platform to fight sexual violence, all stakeholders must strengthen this legal path to enhance accelerated justice for survivors. The CJ stated the judiciary has a duty to eliminate delay. Cases of sexual violence must be prioritized. We must utilize probation for in camera trials and screen testimony to protect survivors from the intimidation of an open court. Our ruling must reflect the seriousness of the crime and legislation intent, making full use of compensation orders. To lawyers, Justice Dupolu said that as the first line of guardians for survivors of sexual violence, they should provide pro bono vow services, guide survivors should process, and hold the system accountable for its failure. The CJ also called on the police to establish gender desk committed to providing a sensitive, professional, and swift response to sexual violence cases. Alright, this is coming from the Punch newspaper. Ogun CJ urged judges to prioritize sexual violence cases. For clarification of the news, you can grab a copy of the Punch newspaper. And that's how we come to the end of news updates on 24 News Radio TV.
From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin, all across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV. From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin, all across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV. From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin, all across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV.
Alright, till we meet tomorrow, same station. I still remain Oluwatofumeni. Do have a wonderful weekend.
From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin.